So let's talk about the link between what's going on in your digestive system and how that links to the rest of the body. It's really interesting because a lot of times people associate that there's a link, but they're really not sure exactly what that link is. So you all know what happens after you eat a Thanksgiving dinner, right? So after dinner, you feel kind of tired, kind of warm, and everybody's looking for that proverbial nap. Well, that has everything to do with the foods that you eat. But that can happen in everyday situation as well, depending on the balance of the good bacteria and the not so good bacteria in your gut. That can very easily be tested. It can be tested in a couple of different ways, actually. But it all depends on if there's enough of the good guys growing, then you will have a very healthy inner lining. The skin of the lining of your gut will be very healthy, which means then you'll absorb your nutrients appropriately, not only in your stomach, but further down in your digestive system. If the bad guys are growing and taking over, and that can be anywhere from bacterium to viruses to yeast, fungus, and a lot of times they can cause disruption, and it can be a slow, progressive disruption over time. But sometimes it's triggered by specific foods. Maybe you have an intolerance to a food that, well, if you eat a little bit of it or even a lot of it, maybe you have some specific issues like diarrhea or constipation or a lot of burping. And those can be really significant because every time you then eat that food, it can cause more and more of a problem, which can then decrease your ability to absorb really good nutrients, proteins, etc. But what it can also do is just the general metabolites of breaking down your normal foods can then escape out of the gut and then float through your body. And usually it ends up on your skin. So it's really common that when people have food intolerances, they also have skin issues like eczema or even psoriasis. And we also know that through some scientific research that sometimes those common metabolites or even some of the bad bacterium or the bad guys in general can actually land in your joints. And that's a very interesting association. So sometimes your joints will ache, maybe throb, they might even swell. And that could again be attributed to a food or an imbalance in your gut. So we're going to talk a lot more about this on April 15th at 6 p.m. So please join us. It's a free Zoom call, really easy to register. Just go to our website, makerscompounding.com/webinars. And please join us. And we're going to talk a lot about what's going on in your gut, how to test, how to balance that so that you can have a better, healthy, productive life.